Hey there gang, how we doing? Kawaii50 here with another Fate Grand Order video. Time to talk about the brand new saber that has graced the game with this latest event. And that saber is Hai Ba Trung, or the Trung sisters. I watched like 87 quadrillion Vietnamese pronunciations, and I think I got it right. If I got it wrong, I would be very, very upset, but I'm sticking with Hai Ba Trung as the pronunciation. So if I'm wrong, yell at me in the comments. I tried. We're going to be going over Hai Ba Chung's best allies, craft essences, and command codes, so you can make them one of the most effective art sabers on your team since the Dioscuri. Yeah, I went and made that comparison. And if you like this video, be sure to go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, share, etc. All those good things, because we're trying to get to 10k subs by the end of this year. I think we can do it, so go ahead and check that out. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Now, let's get done with the intro, and let's go ahead with the breakdown. Yeah, breakdown. We'll go with that. Hai Ba Chung comes equipped with 1 quick, 2 arts, and 2 buster cards with a single target 9-hit Arts Noble Phantasm, which is already pretty neato if you ask me. They come equipped with some solid stats in both HP and attack on the fairly high end of things, and their NP per hit, considering their ability to Arts Brave Chain, is fairly decent, if I'm going to be quite honest. And with 9 hits on that Noble Phantasm, it should be pretty easy to go ahead and refund with them. When it comes to critting in general, their star absorption is average, so any sort of star gather bonuses are not going to be lost on them, but you're going to need to pair them with something else, and we'll get into that as we go into their kit. Hai Ba Chung's first skill is Rebel Charisma rank B-. This gives all allies a 10 to 15% attack increase and a 10 to 15% arts card effectiveness increase. Of course, this mainly benefits the sisters, so you're going to want to go ahead and use this mainly to increase their own damage. You can actually go ahead and level this in tandem with their second skill. Odds are you're going to be popping them both immediately anyways. It's a great idea to go ahead and keep them leveled together, but we are not going to be focusing on both of those skills first at all. So just a little something for you to keep in mind. Their second skill is Sisterly Bond, rank A. This increases their arts and buster card effectiveness by 10 to 15% for 3 turns, and applies a couple of bonus effects. When attacking with a arts card, it will increase the effectiveness of their buster cards. When attacking with their buster cards, they will increase the effectiveness of their arts cards. So ideally, if you want to go ahead and get that NP refund off of the arts cards, you want to start with a buster chain and then follow it up with art stuff to further increase that effectiveness. That will go ahead and carry over into the next arts card. Or if you're feeling especially spicy and want to super duper maximize it, if you're able to pull off the legendary ABA chain, you're going to go ahead and get that initial arts card bonus, follow it up with increased damage from the buster card, and then the event you're able to overkill, well, there comes another arts card following that up that has gotten an increased 10% bonus and is also benefiting from the first arts card in the chain, and that doesn't even begin to consider the extra attack. So yeah, Sisterly Bond, little bit of finagling you gotta do, but it can become effective if you're keeping your card types and the orders of your cards in order. However, this does end up really devaluing the quick card. So sorry, quick card, you're not very important at the end of the day. And their final and most important skill is Holy King Trung, rank EX. This increases their NP gauge by 20 to 30%, increases the NP gain of all allies, including themselves, by 10 to 20%, and increases the crit rate resistance of all allies, including themselves again, by another 10 to 20%. This is their most important skill to level, mainly for that 30% NP steroid. We want to get it to that point because the luxury of being able to use a not max limit broken kaleidoscope if you don't have it is something that is enticing to a lot of people. And just having the highest amount of NP steroid period is going to be very helpful, especially when we pair it with the Append Skills. So we have a single target art servant that is focused on using their Noble Phantasm. So this means that our first 2 Append Skills are going to be equally important. Extra attack boost is going to grant you extra damage, extra critical stars, as well as extra Noble Phantasm refund when you go ahead and attack with them. You're going to try to Brave Chain with them as much as possible, so pull everything you can out of that extra card. Low magical energy is also important because of that 30% NP steroid we have. Combine that with a maxed out low magical energy, that's going to get you with a starting 50%, which really opens up their craft essence options. Now, let's take a look at that vaunted Noble Phantasm.
女王の名において命じます。立ち上がれ、虐げられし神たちよ。皆の力で強度を正し、65条の奮起へと至る。共に歩もう、我らの国よ。
And that admittedly super neat looking Noble Phantasm is called Let Us Walk Our Land Together. This deals 900 to 1500% damage to a single enemy and gives all of your allies 3 turns of 1000 HP recovered over those 3 turns. So 3k total. This isn't going to get augmented by anything, but it is just a very nice additional bonus to help keep the rest of your team alive if you're unable to keep your defensive buffs up 100% of the time, which is going to happen, especially when you're fighting bosses. Their overcharge effect is actually incredibly useful. This increases the arts card effectiveness and buster card effectiveness for all allies by another 10 to 30% depending on overcharge level. Realistically, you're probably going to end up hitting this somewhere in the 300% marker if you're at NP1, but even then that is a total 50% arts card effectiveness boost on the Trung sisters, just considering their own buffs as well as their own Noble Phantasm overcharge effect. So Haiba Chung, very, very important to try and get that off and stack all those together. We're not even considering Castorias here. And when it comes to Noble Phantasms, in general, like with most characters, Noble Phantasm 2 is going to be your biggest damage increase that pulls us from 900 to 1200% damage. So if you really, really like them, go for NP2. When it comes to allies, get whoever can provide you some art support. Of course, our beloved Castoria, who some would say is the biggest mistake this game has ever produced. I'll leave that up to you. I just wanted to throw that out there because I think that's an interesting take and partially true in some aspects. She really is the number one arts character you want in a large portion of content, sometimes the number one quick character. Regardless of how you personally feel about Castoria, she is still the absolute best pick for these sisters. Going beyond that, you can of course go with lesser arts options like Paracelsus von Hohenheim, for example, but double Castoria is going to be the name of the game. Now, let's take a look at craft essences. If you're looking for the best freebie option for Haiba Chung, you're going to want to go ahead with Ocean Flyer. This has all of its stats placed firmly into attack and grants arts card effectiveness, NP strength, and a starting 50% NP gauge. So if you actually end up having their Append skill and their third skill maxed, you can immediately start the fight with a maxed out Noble Phantasm. This being free is very nice. I really appreciate this craft essence. You can also consider in the future as thin as a narrow straight. This actually features them, so it's very, very thematic. This grants arts card effectiveness, buster card effectiveness, a damage cut, and a starting 30 to 50% NP gauge. If you're able to grab this from the Future Servant Summer Festival, this might end up being your go-to pick. It does have split stats in both HP and attack, so it's really going to depend on what you're looking for out of the sisters, but I think it's just, in general, a super neat idea to have thematic CEs on the characters that, you know, are, like, have the character CE on that character. I think I actually ended up getting that point across correctly. Of course, you can consider the crazy options like the Black Grail. Of course, this ends up becoming an even better pick for these sisters, considering the fact that they're able to recover HP, so it's almost like when they use their Noble Phantasm, the detriment itself doesn't actually exist, so Black Grail still pulling its weight all these years later, and is probably still going to continue to pull its weight until the heat death of the universe. Also, I would be remiss to not mention Kaleidoscope, so I'll mention Kaleidoscope. You know what Kaleidoscope is. It is Kaleidoscope featuring the Kaleidoscope Man. It does kaleidoscope-related activities. So when it comes to Haiba Chung's command codes, I overall recommend NP damage on them. That's going to be the easiest way for you to effectively squeeze as much damage as possible out of them. They don't really have any sort of way to increase their own critical damage. There is no built-in steroid on that, like with other single target arts sabers, some very famous ones of note. So I would recommend just focusing full NP damage and full arts card summoning. Get your arts cards to summon those stars directly to them so you can go ahead and maximize that NP gain. So when it comes to the buster cards, let's focus on increasing our follow-up noble Phantasm damage, because remember, they have an effect where their buster cards increase the effectiveness of their arts cards. So if you want to follow up that noble Phantasm with an arts card, let's make sure we're increasing that arts card's effectiveness as much as possible. Consider using on the buster cards things like Empress of the Hanging Gardens. This grants a noble Phantasm damage boost by 10% as well as 2 critical stars when attacking with the engraved card. It can be very useful for funneling stars into those arts cards. You can also consider a more general boost like Everyone's Da Vinci Chan or Da Vinci Chan. This is an 8% boost on Everyone's, a 15% on regular Da Vinci Chan. This can be a very, very solid boost for the sisters. For our star absorption, you gotta love that Colonel Automaton. This is a 50% star absorption boost on the engraved card and increases critical damage by 10%. I know I didn't necessarily say we should go for critical damage, but this is mainly here for the star absorption boost. Gentle Wish is a more effective star absorption boost, increasing by 150% on that arts card. This is going to be your go-to over Colonel Automaton if you have both. I would also recommend Immature Illusionary Command Seal if you happen to still have that available or want to move that off of a servant that's already been using it since it's an older code. This is a 100% star absorption boost. You can also give them something like Armament of Victory as well to funnel those stars into those arts cards. This will not only increase the arts cards damage, but most importantly increase the NP refund of those arts cards, allowing you to loop that noble Phantasm. When it comes to the quick card, it is very, very simple. We just want to generate stars. You're not going to be using this card if you can help it because of the great play that the buster cards and the arts cards have off of each other. So give that quick card just something in general to increase the stars you generate. You can just go with Code Glitter on this if you want. Anything that grants stars is going to be effective. Overall, gang, I think Haiba Chung is an overall solid single target art saber. Unfortunately, I feel like they suffer in one critical aspect, and yes, that is pun intended. They don't really have a solid way to increase their critical damage off of those arts cards, so outside of their Noble Phantasm, they will tend to suffer in damage compared to some other arts sabers that are out there. We already have a very strong single target arts saber showing. We have Saito Hajime, we have Lancelot, we have Old Man Munenori, just to name a few. These are already very solid 4-star options that have existed in the game for a while now. You likely already have them built, and they will likely do their job better than Haiba Chung will do with their job. Obviously, if you like the sisters, go ahead and summon for them. Just know that that is the niche they are going to attempt to fill. So if you're more of a fan of your Saito, your Lancelot, your Munenori, you may want to just avoid this banner because there are quite a few powerful servants coming out this year in FGO. It may be better off for you to save your quartz. But I want to know what you all think, so let me know your thoughts on Haiba Chung down in the comment section below. Let me know if there are any allies, craft instances, or command codes I might have missed. And let me know if you are summoning them and using them as your main single target art saber. If you're not, who is your main single target art saber? Is it one of the 3 I mentioned? Is it the super duper free Katsushika Hokusai Summer? I mean, there's so many options out there for single target art sabers. That's what's made this so difficult. So let me know. As you head down to the comment section, be sure to check out the Discord, the Patreon, and the Ko-fi. Huge thanks to everyone on all of those platforms for their support, and a big thanks to you on YouTube as well for sticking it out to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. Anyways, gang, that's it for me, Kawaii50. I hope you all have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you all in the next one.